Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and this reading is going to be for the second half of February. Now, if you haven't had a chance to see my video that I did for the first half of February, it's a bit longer than this one. I'll link it at the end for you. So in this video, we're going to be looking at what I'm calling the Yellow Cardinal Cross. So in the number one position, I'm going to look at the issue that you're dealing with right now, whether it's a problem, it's a pattern for you that's showing up, it's a struggle. And then I'm going to clarify that number two with another card. And I want to see if there's a card that's going to sort of have an impact on what the issue is. It's going to clarify number one or obscure the issue a bit. Number three position is the conscious influence. And that means this is the influence that you're aware of that's affecting or influencing this issue. And then on the right is going to be the unconscious influence. And that's going to be what's coming up in your shadow. And it's not what you're aware of because we don't know what's in your shadow. 5 on the top is going to be the card that's going to tell you what is needed for resolution for this situation that you're in. Number 6 on the bottom is going to be the resolution. It's going to be the understanding. So I think what it is probably going to be is a bit of guidance from the tarot. And yeah, so I'm hoping this helps with you as we close off the last 2 weeks in February. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck for you. And we're going to get started by pulling the issue, number one. Oops. That one wanted to pop out. It was a devil card. We'll see if it comes back. All right, let's go. The number one, the issue. All right, we got the Strength card in reverse. Number 2, the clarifier. Number 2 is the clarifier. And the one that flipped up was the King of Wands. The King of Wands. All right. Number 3 is going to be the conscious influence, right? What you're aware of. And I got the Ace of Swords in reverse. The Ace of Swords in reverse. Number 4 is going to be the unconscious influence. Just want one card, please. One card from the tarot. Got 2 there. Just want one card. There it is. The Page of Swords in reverse. Number 5 is going to be what is needed for the resolution. What is needed for the resolution. And we have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups. Number 6 is going to be the resolution, the understanding. One card, please. That fell out nicely. The 2 of Cups. Nice card to end with. All right, let me just move these up. Okay, to start off your reading, what I've done is I've pulled the energy from your yearly reading for 2024, and that's linked in the description box if you haven't seen that. And your energy for February was all caught up with the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is that card we're just caught up in our heads, spinning and feeling like we just don't see a way out. And, you know, there is a way out. She can walk away from the situation, but we just don't see it. And that happens often when we're sitting in a situation, if it's a problem or just something that we need to get to, and we can just really spin in our heads. So let's see if we can shed some light again on this in the second half of February. So you're being asked, you know, a Strength card comes in reverse here. The Strength card for me is it's a major arcana card. And it really is the decision to decide to go inwards. And by going inwards, what I mean by that is, you know, getting out of your head, which is where you are in the energy of February, and really doing some grounding. And I know when I talked to you about your first video, and I did give you some grounding videos at the end, because you need to go inwards. You need to take some time to yourself, get still, and just really learn how to ground yourself and go inwards and get back into your body, because that's where we have all our answers. You know, that's where we have all our answers to our behaviors, our issues, what's causing us all these issues. And for you, the Strength card's coming out, but it was in reverse. And so there is a real resistance from you to get into your body. And a lot of people don't want to get into their bodies because that's where all their emotions are. And it's scary to start to feel those emotions. And the Strength card is really... It's like this woman who's taming this lion, and she's deciding that that's what she's going to do. And for a lot of us, we feel like it's like opening that Pandora's box, and all these emotions are going to be so overwhelming, and we're not going to know what to do with them. So we just keep that lid on it. And this, you know, this is what happens when there's this resistance where you just keep that lid on it because you just don't want it to come. You don't want to come up. And the King of Wands here is what's obscuring this, right? Or it could be what's kind of clarifying it. But for me, I'm looking at this, and the King of Wands is that masculine part of us. It's the ego. I look at it as our ego, and that's really what drives most of our behavior. And the King of Wands is all about, the wand suit in particular is all about following our intuition, following our inner guidance, and going in the direction that we want to go into. And this particular king, because he is in an upright position, well, actually he's sideways because he's the number 2 sideways. So, but yeah, he's very much the part of us that will resist sometimes. Our ego can get in there and can tell us that, you know, intuition is just a bunch of BS. Intuition, we don't have this inner guidance, and to want to get back into our bodies where we can start to feel again, our ego can really sometimes, you know, prevent us from doing that, because they can tell us all kinds of things. You know, they can tell us all kinds of things in our head of why we shouldn't get into our bodies. But the main thing here is that, you know, you need to get back into your body so you can stop the spinning that's going on in your head. And so in the third position is what you are aware of, and that is the Ace of Swords, right? And it's in reverse. Now, in an upright position, the Ace of Swords is that offering from the universe. It's giving you a sword, and the sword is all about finding who you are, finding your authenticity, right? Really finding out who you are, because there's so many things going on right now with you in your head, and you're just confused. You have this blindfold on as the eight of swords energy, where that's just obscuring who you are and preventing yourself from seeing it. And there is a resistance here to you to go inwards and to find out who you are. And we spend our lives sometimes being that person that we're not. I'm going to be honest with you. I spent a good 50 years of my life wearing these masks and not knowing who I was. And so this is what's coming up with you, is this resistance to go inwards and start to find out who you are. You know, start to peel away some of those masks. Because what you don't see in your unconscious that's coming up for you is the Page of Swords in reverse. And that's, you know, this is another card in reverse. And the Page of Swords, very interesting that this came out, because in an upright position, all my pages represent the very young part of us, 4, 5, 6-year-old part of us, our inner child that wants you to get in touch with them, because we need to heal that inner child. And this is the inner child. This is the child that it carries the sword. So it's the inner child that, if you think of a child at 4, 5, 6 years old, they knew, they had a sense of who they were. I mean, they didn't have anybody at that time to tell them who they were. They didn't have all these belief systems that were thrown at them when they were younger, all these swords of people telling them, their worth, or people telling them things about themselves that weren't even true. And so we bury these in our unconscious. And this Page of Swords here is the younger child. It wants you to get back in your body and start to heal. Start to heal and find out who you are. This inner child is going to tell you who you are. They're going to cut through all the BS because they know, they remember who they were before you started picking up all of these swords from other people, these belief systems from other people. And they're in reverse. So, they're really very much blocked. I'm going to say, when you use the word blocked, they're very much, because they have emotions. These inner children carry our emotions that need to be healed. And they're very much blocked right now for you. Because, there is a resistance I can see of you to go into your body and to start to feel. And so number 5 is what's needed for this resolution right here. Well, that you get the 7 of Cups, and this is very interesting because the 7 of Cups has this individual looking at all these cups on offer, all these weird things, all these weird things that the world has to offer us. And you get to a certain point in this healing journey where you kind of look at all these, what's on offer for us out there, all these wants and these needs and these desires that we have, and we think, is this everything? Is this everything? And that's kind of what we see on the outside, right? What consciously we see. And there comes a point where we say, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to this, especially when you're sitting in this 8 of Swords energy. And so it's kind of like that's the decision where, and that's the Strength card. This is what the Strength card is all about here that you have in your number 1 position in reverse. And that's where we say, you know what? There is more. There's more, and I'm going to go digging for it. I'm going to get into back in my body, and I'm going to start digging for what's more. And I know there's more. And, I always felt that too. I always felt that, going through so many years of therapy, in and out of therapy, and it was like there's more out there for me. And then I'd get blocked, and I'd sit in that 8 of Swords energy and in my head, and I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting anywhere in therapy, and then so finally, 7 years ago, when I found the right life coach, and she helped me. She helped me get back into my body. She helped me start feeling again and start feeling everything that was buried in my unconscious. And she helped me realize that, yeah, there was more than what I was seeing, because I had this big mask on. I didn't know. I had this big mask on. And once I started to get in touch with my inner children and start to heal a lot of what they needed to heal, well, then these swords started dropping away from me. And the more and more I got into my body. And this last card, which is beautiful, which is the understanding here. And the understanding I see for you, which is the 2 of Cups. You have this beautiful caduceus here, right here, this angel above, this healing caduceus. And this is really a healing card, but it's the first, it's number 2, so it's kind of a really beginning step into, it's not a healing between a partner. It's not about going out to find that partner, that one person that's going to help you heal. There is no one else, unfortunately. I have gone through this already, where there is no one else that's going to come out. There's no savior out there that's going to come and save you. The only saving you're going to do is when you start to really get in touch with that inner part of you, the unconscious part of you. And this is what this is. This is this healing, this beginning of this healing relationship that you have with yourself. And I'm not going to start to say, well, you got to go and learn to love yourself, because you know what? A lot of times when you're sitting in this shit, this 8 of Swords, and when you're just not feeling the strength to deal with this stuff, what really helps and what really helped me was when I made that decision to start to finally ground myself and get back into my body and get out of my head and start to feel. Start to help this inner child heal. And this is what this is. This is this beautiful beginning of realizing that, you know what, there's more than just this stuff out there, these desires, these wants. There's more than that. And there is, and it's all sitting once, you know, once we get back into our body and we start to feel, we start to find out who we really are. We start to get to that truth of who we really are. So good luck, Sagittarius, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.